So a glittering launch here for the new baby of Jaguar, the XE, and you'll see excerpts of that in just a small bit. But this may be a baby for them. It's still a big one because it's going to take on the volume segment of the luxury car market for them. So a big car for them in that sense. It promises to come with all the sporting heritage of Jaguar, and it promises to give you luxury and refinement, and of course it looks stunning. But let's get a closer look. Amidst a lot of pomp and pageantry, Jaguar unveiled their XE, which will rival the likes of the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, the BMW 3 Series and the Audi A4. The car follows the new generation Jaguar design, and though its looks are not as jaw-dropping as some of its other siblings, it is sleek and stylish. The long bonnet, the coupe-like roofline and the short tail are all reminiscent of the XF. Ian Callum spoke to us about its design.
We wanted a longer bonnet in this car because it's a sports sedan, it's a sports saloon, and my image of that, and certainly many of my colleagues, is it should have a longer bonnet. So we were able to influence the architecture of the car quite thoroughly to get that what we call dash to axle look. The wheel is further forward than it might have to be. It's hugely challenging, and you know, on a Jaguar we want to give as much depth to the overall shape of the car across the haunches, and if we can't get the depth, we've got to just sort of capture highlights to do the same. And you can see it along the rear three-quarter there, it just pops out. But hugely challenging because aluminium does not want to stretch the same way steel does, and therefore you have to go into multiple tools. You have to do special things to get it to the same depth. And the headlamp frown we've got is similar, but again it's a lot slimmer, and the whole car is much tighter.
But it's more of what's underneath that's truly interesting. This car is based on Jaguar's new modular architecture, with lightweight aluminium making up 75% of its structure. Most exterior parts like the roof, fenders, bonnet and doors are made of aluminium too, whilst the rear floor and boot lid are still steel. The percentage of aluminium has allowed Jaguar to make this their stiffest, lightest and most aerodynamic car. The XE will also be equipped with an electric power steering, which is another first for Jaguar. And also, after a very long while, Jaguar will have a manual variant. The engineers are also very proud of their double wishbone setup for the front suspension, which is critical in allowing them to get the ride handling compromise just right. This baby Jag will also launch the homegrown range of Ingenium engines, of which the 2-litre turbo diesel inline 4 with 161 bhp will be the one to come first. The XE will also come with a petrol variant which shares the F-Type's 3-litre supercharged V6 with 335 bhp paired to an 8-speed auto for the sporty S model. The interiors were very well guarded at the launch and we weren't allowed to get inside the cars. But we can tell you some of the stuff that you will get inside an XE. It will have an 8-inch touchscreen with Jaguar's in-control remote system. This will allow users of iOS and Android smartphones to connect to the car from wherever they are and control a range of vehicle functions. These include 7-day pre-timed settings of the XE's climate control system, locking or unlocking the doors, or starting the engine. The app feature allows users to seamlessly access smartphone apps through the vehicle's touchscreen as well. The engineers also spoke to us about the fact that they had worked hard to adapt this car for different markets. And of course, India would get a version 30mm higher off the ground, with a clearance of 140mm in total. The suspension package will also be tweaked, along with steering and anti-roll bars, to ensure that the XE will still offer a good ride handling package on our terrain. We caught up with Phil Popham to find out what this car means for Jaguar.
Jaguar's moving into a new and larger segment with the XE, so we have expectations in terms of volume. It's going to actually expand our relevance to more people around the world. It gets us into new segments in Europe, especially the corporate, the fleet segment for the first time. It is a competitive segment, but we have a brilliant product here. The first car off a brand new architecture, a brand new flat platform. a lightweight platform, which means this will be the most economical vehicle ever. It looks fantastic, it drives fantastic, and I think when you see it, you'll see why we believe it's going to be such a success in that segment. We're planning to manufacture just here in the UK with XE. Of course, in Pune in India, we do build the XF already, and the Freelander. We've announced plans to build XJ. So as the market develops, the opportunity we will assess. But from day one, the car will be built here in the UK. The rollout will start in the spring of next year. It will roll out over the course of 4 or 5 months in all of our markets.